John and Terry here, Blackfoot River Outfitters. It is Wednesday, July 7th. John has a rare day off the river.
Canceled trip
Due to this crazy heat. These people were able to adjust their schedule, so they're coming maybe in September or October. So for those of you who maybe aren't aware, the Pacific Northwest is going through quite the heat wave, including Montana. It's
crazy.
Miserable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like over 90 every day, 100-degree temperatures. It's unheard of. In British Columbia, it was 121. That in Las Vegas.
Yuck.
Yeah, 121. It's unheard of, and
City.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. So with that, we want to give people a little update on our fishing policy going forward. I know there's some restrictions.
And again, I say it's July 7th, which
Yeah,
is
right.
like, yeah, we've never
Unheard.
done this more than a month. This is a month early at least. Yeah.
And
if not
the
more.
Smith River, they stopped doing trips on the Smith River 3 weeks ago or something.
Oh,
This
gosh,
should
yeah.
be just finishing their season now.
Yeah.
So there are some restrictions. Fish, Wildlife and Parks have put some restrictions on some Southwest rivers. That is Big Hole, Beaverhead, Jefferson, stuff like that. The only one in western Montana where we are located is on the Upper Clark Fork, and it's a hoot owl, and people don't like the name of that, but what that means is that you can fish from midnight till 2. And the reason for that is that the water temperatures range. If you look on the internet, look at the fish or the USGS stream flow data, they'll show you the temperature on several rivers and the temperature during the day, and it's running from mid to high 60s up to about 70, and then back down, and then back up and back down. It depends on how cold the nights are, and the problem is the nights aren't getting very cold.
Right.
So usually that drops down plenty far. With that, there aren't restrictions necessarily right around Missoula, but as a fishing company that's concerned about the resource, we've been doing this pretty much for about a week anyway, but we're only going to fish from, we're going to meet people about 6 or earlier if you want, and we'll fish till 2, and you can either eat lunch then, or you can eat lunch before and then fish for a couple more hours and then get...
Yeah, it's pretty miserable after
done
about 2 on
fishing
the
at
river
2.
when it's in the high 90s, 100 degrees. So.
Yeah. And it's
not
good
only
for the
for
fish.
us, but yeah, the trout obviously.
fish.
And that's usually about the time when those river temps really start to go into those numbers that can cause some mortalities, or at least stress those fish out. So we want to make sure we have job security.
Yeah, and we haven't seen, I've been on the river every day, and I haven't seen fish dying, and there are some people who say that's the case, and one thing we want everybody to know, we're not judging anyone about any of this, right? It's all hard.
This is our decision to
it's
do
a hard deal,
what we feel is the best, and we're not scientists or whatever, but we've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
So
We haven't seen any, I haven't seen any dead fish. The fishing's been pretty good. Been catching good fish, and they seem to be fighting well. They're swimming off solid. Those are the things that I look for. In the Clark Fork, I know the lower Clark Fork, some people are really stressed about the temperatures there, the lower Bitterroot, and what happens is a lot of those fish just go to those kind of thermal zones where there's these springs and stuff coming up. So they're surprisingly resilient, but at the same time, that's what we're going to do. So what we want to make sure is that our customers understand that when we're done fishing at 2, and then a private party puts in and they start fishing again, that's their decision, and they're able to do that. It's not a rule. I'd rather have Fish, Wildlife and Parks just say, nope, it's everybody, but that isn't happening quite yet.
we do foresee that will happen at some point, because there's no
end in sight. It's going to be 90 every day.
Here's I don't know if you can all see.
Red,
sun,
red.
sun. Doesn't,
It's pretty grim. So,
Yeah.
Having said all that, the fishing's good. It's fun to be out early, and the fishing's better in the early
as
hours
I tell
anyway.
people, you'll hate me in the morning, but you'll love me in about at about 2 in the afternoon when
when it
it's
gets
just
hot.
miserable out there. So And we're happy to meet people earlier too. 6 is just kind of a guideline. Like if you're doing a full day trip, that's how you're going to get your full day in, is if we meet the earlier the better.
Yep. 5, 6, fine.
And then we're not doing any afternoon half days. So if you have one of those booked, we'll probably either, if your schedule's not flexible, we'll have to probably cancel that, full refund, of course, or move it to the morning, which we've been doing with quite a few folks. So
Yeah, I was on a morning half day yesterday. It was great.
Yeah.
We caught great fish till about 12 or so, and then it started slowing down a little bit, which was fine because we were about done. Nonetheless. So it was perfect.
And then again, this is, we were fired from this position probably years ago. We just didn't know it. But the written report's going to be below this video too. That kind of goes over each river, more specifically flies, But we just want to give this blanket statement ahead of time so folks are aware of what's going on with trips that might be booked, or even private folks that are going out there and just fishing on your own. It's best to get out there early and be done early. So
yeah, we want everybody be on the same page.
yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Is there anything funny? There's one. So a woman was attacked by a grizzly yesterday. This is not funny. Not funny. Up by Ovando,
Which is
up along
put in on the upper Blackfoot.
North Fork of the Blackfoot. But we just want to reiterate, which we've been doing for a few years now, that if you're fishing up there, always have your bear spray. I mean, when I'm floating up there, I have my bear spray right beside me. And when I'm out at lunch, if I'm on the upper Blackfoot, I just have it right on my hip. It's not
They're
any
there,
fun. There's
and
bears
they're-
out.
yeah.
And I think this heat, and once again, we're talking science here, which we're not scientists, but I suspect that
I play one on TV though.
that this heat is, those bears are dropping into these river corridors where it's nice and cool and moist.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be up on those big open hillsides now because it's 100 degrees. And if I was a grizzly bear in a big thick coat, I wouldn't want to be up there. I'd be down in the river bottom, like back here somewhere. So, just be really, really bear aware.
Yeah,
right?
especially if you're fishing on the upper Blackfoot or any of those tributaries in North Fork or Montour
Montour
Creek.
Creek. Those are grizz corridors.
Yeah, there's been numerous reports of bears up there. So anyway,
Be advised.
just be advised.
Pretty scary.
I did want to read John his horoscope for today, because usually we start our day that way. Like John will get his copies, like, okay, what's my day gonna be like?
That's how I do it.
And I have to read him his horoscope. So
What are you talking about?
Today, for those of you who care, you've already turned off, but there's probably 2 viewers still watching. John's having a 5-star day, which is pretty amazing.
Always.
Pretty
as opposed
amazing.
to what?
And it says he's a gregarious creature, needs to go out and see others and also be seen.
No shit.
As opposed
So what is-
to what?
What's news?
Today you have a strong need to talk to someone. I'm not sure if anybody's been in his boat, but yeah, that's usually what's happening. And you want to feel a real connection. And in parentheses it says, not just superficial chit-chat about the weather, which is all we've been talking about. Anyway, and then tonight, lucky for me, he's going to focus on the home and family. Yes.
That's the way I do it. That's how I roll.
Anyway,
All right.
that's our 2
That's a
cents.
wrap.
So if you have questions, of course, call us or send us an email. But that's kind of going to be the schedule from now going forward
going
until we
forward.
get quite a bit of rain and the temperatures cool down.
Yeah, but those nights need to get longer, right?
Yeah.
We're losing, what was it, 3 minutes?
3 minutes a day.
3 minutes a day.
Yeah,
It gets shorter, days shorten up.
It's starting to be dark, actually, almost at 10 now, which
Yeah,
is
it's crazy.
yeah. Anyway,
Cool.
thanks for watching, and
Thanks.
have a good summer. And
Look
again,
down below
yeah,
for the
down
fishing
below
report.
for the fishing report. Thanks again.
Cool.